world for the new month numerology forecast. Got Michele Landers here. She's a beautiful numerologist. She's a board certified life purpose coach, hypnotherapist, and she has done all kinds of things, including television shows. She's an author, she's a speaker. She's amazing. And if you have not seen her before, I'm so glad to introduce you to her now. Michele, thank you for being here today. And I can't believe this is March 1.
I know, and thank you, Ruth. I always love being on here every month, and I appreciate the beautiful EWN community. So thank you for creating that. And I agree. I can't believe it's March, and here we are, and here it is. And you know what they say? The saying is March comes in like a lion and goes out like a lamb. No. It's no. It's going to be marching in with some force. It is a crazy kind of month, which is not unusual. That seems to be the rule rather than the exception. So let's see if we can get all this together. I think it's going to be a ramped up month with the. Well, let me just say this too. We haven't had any planets in retrograde, and they're going to start in April. We're going to start having retrogrades. So pre-retrograde energy is also at play. So it's sure to be a ramped up month with the official astrological new year beginning in Aries around, I think that it's the 19th or the 20th. You know, astrologers, all of them have different opinions on that. But so I want to talk about that first. So what is the Aries energy that we're going into around the 19th or 20th? Well, that's bold, it's energetic, it's lively, it's driven. And Aries can be very aggressive. So along with everything else that's happening at that time, which I'll go into, I don't know, it could be kind of explosive. So it's an all in or all out energy. That's one of the aspects. Then we have the spring equinox on the 19th. A lunar eclipse is happening on the 25th. And as I mentioned, we're in this pre-retrograde season, and that starts, sometime in April. But what's going on right now? Well, first of all, we're under the influence of Pisces again until the 19th or 20th, when the sign will change into Aries. But in the meantime, we have this Pisces energy, which is dreamy and ethereal and watery, lots of water. So put that aside, lots of water at play, which also has to do with storms and floods and water. And I'll talk a little bit more about that in a moment. So it's emotional energy. And I would definitely say that our intuition, this Piscean energy, our intuition should be heightened. So to break it down a little bit, March alone vibrates to the number 3. And I really think that 3, even though that's not in combination with the 8 year, which I will talk about, but I want to talk about the number 3 standing alone. And it's the Empress. And I have her card here. So that is oh, no, that's the High Priestess. Sorry about that. That's also going to be active. So we have the Empress. Sorry, a little off today. So let's talk about the Empress. I love the Empress for a number of reasons, because my life path is a 3. And so my corresponding tarot card, because we all have corresponding tarot cards, is a 3. They mirror one another. And the Empress is about abundance and beauty and love. And she's verbal, and it's about communication. It's also a very, very, very busy number, but it also, what is the other characteristics of the 3? It can be scattered, it can be impulsive. So the number 3 of March also will involve, in some way, emphasis on children, because 3 is also about birth and it's about youth. So I'm not sure how that's going to evolve or open up, but it could be education. It could be other things pertaining to youth or youthful type energies. Creativity. 3 is a really creative number. So everybody's creativity should really be running high. So any creative work, and I want people to really open up their minds about what creative work is. So some of it is, it's artists, writers, craftsmen, advertising, marketing, but there's other creative work that people do. So anything creative is going to be heightened and should do really well. So along with that 3 energy, we've got Mercury at play, and Mercury is a 3 energy, and it's the planet of communication. And I'm sure most people noticed in the news that just recently, and these aspects can start a little bit before or a little bit after. We've had a big breakdown with AT&T, that was spread across the country, and that's Mercury, that's communication. So a lot of that is going to be at play. So we may experience more breakdowns in communication, lots of talks, lots of arguments, lots of empty promises. So I would suggest that when you hear, and I always want to emphasize over and over again during these talks, that this is globally, but it also can affect us personally. To get really drilled down, you'd really have to have your numerology chart or your astrology chart done. But nonetheless, the effect overall is going to affect us individually. So we might be, well, my advice is don't get carried away if you hear of any kind of grand claims or these big ideas or big schemes. Just take off. This is a time to take off your rose-colored glasses. But of course, it's during some parts of the month, it's very romantic, so you may want to put on those rose-colored glasses. But overall, when you hear of things that just say, I can't believe that. So some promises that are made may be true, while others are just a way to distract us. So we can expect a lot of these characteristics that are going to be at play. I was going to talk about the government shutdown, but I'm not, because I'm really not sure if that's going to be like a full shutdown or not. But there's certainly, it's loud. So in order to drill down that energy even more, what do? We have to add the 3 of March to the year 2024, and 2024 is an 8. And 8, of course, overshadows every month this year. That's why it's a big emphasis on finances and money this year, and Bitcoin and all of that stuff. The whole year deals with the physical attributes of our existence, and power. So 8 is karma, and this year, no doubt, is a very karmic year for our planet. So what we've sown, we'll reap. The good, the good comes back with karma, and the not so good. But when we add the 8 to the number 3, we arrive at the number 11, which in numerology is a master number. But what does a master number mean? A master number in numerology means it's a very high vibration. And what happens when we're under this high vibration? Well, the good side of this high vibration is that it's highly intuitive, psychic, compassionate, understanding. And when 11 is at play, it's easier to link up with the universal God force or the divine. 11 can be a really beautiful energy. And just an FYI, the name of Jesus is an 11 energy in numerology. So you get what I mean. But here's the thing with the number 11, because there is nothing on this earthly plane that doesn't have a duality to it. And, people might say, oh my God, it's such a high energy, it's loving. And well, how can that be challenging? Well, if it comes up against lower vibrations, it can create a problem. So here's the thing with an 11. So if you're vibrating under that 11 energy, it can attract, because you've got this great, beautiful, bright, high energy resonating out. Well, lower vibrations can be attracted to that. It's almost like energy vampires. So we have to be cognizant of that this month. Another really interesting thing about that 11 and the high vibration is that it can be challenging for your physical body to harmonize that energy. So you can feel tired, you can feel out of sorts, it can cause headaches. I'm very familiar with that these days, and other aches and pains. And along with the fact that I do believe we're getting these galactic downloads all the time. So, when you're dealing with a heavier matter like the physical and a very high vibration of 11 or 22, you're bound to have some challenges with that. So the first half of March is very much about this Piscean energy, very sensitive. The 11 obviously echoes that Piscean energy. Again, this month, it's about relationships and collaboration. Again, creativity should be really running high, but things are going to rise to the surface, especially in relationships and just our close relationships and our relationships out there in the world. So any delusions you might have about relationships, actually any delusions you have about anything are going to come into focus. So again, we know that Pisces is water related. So there can be issues with ships or boats, anything related to water, oceans, deep in the ocean, I don't know, submarines, anything, flooding, icebergs, all that kind of stuff. It's water. And that again is another energy that is pretty much running the whole year. But this month is very, very, very watery. And again, relationships have to be handled with kid gloves, because the energy is also, we have Mars in the mix and all these other things going on. It can be very argumentative, or you can come across people that are just annoying, or you feel like they're just not listening to you. They just don't understand. But we have this other energy that's very passionate. So it's deep love, but with these high emotions, it can also cause jealousy or misunderstanding. And that's why I say all relationships have to be handled with kid gloves. It's very electric energy with Mars at play. So here again, we have electrical issues, electrical storms, fires. It can be explosive, eruptions, that type of thing. So the number 11 in the tarot card is, let me find it. I really did just have it, honestly. So that's the Justice card, okay? And that's about fairness, but that doesn't mean things are going to be fair this month. It's a balance. It's saying, oh, that's not right. It's the Justice card can be triumph of the deserving side or the right side of the law, but when it's reversed, when you're not acting in harmony with that 11, it's going to be legal complications and accusations and just extreme. Excuse me. So we also have to look at the fact that 11 also equals 2, and the 2 energy is again about relationships. So that's so much a part of what's going on this month. And patience and female energy is very, very, very strong this month. So let's get into some of the astrological aspects. So right around this time now, we're on the 1st, but the 3rd to the 4th, there's kind of shakeups. And we have Venus in Aquarius square Uranus, and Taurus. And that is kind of a different kind of energy. It could be fun, but it also could be very eccentric. It could be rebellious. It could be this energy of, hey, I need to be free. For whatever reason, you're holding me back. I need to be free. Some social, unrest, and that goes along with the communication part of it. And then on the 8th, we have Mercury conjunct Neptune and Pisces. So that is, read the fine print. Okay, make sure that day. And I also want to mention, and I think I should say this at the beginning. A lot of this energy can be a little bit before, a little bit after the date. It doesn't have to be exactly on that day. So again, it's watery energy. Neptune is a very nebulous type of energy. So things are not always as clear. They're not always as sharp. So just, be aware of that. And on the 9th, we have Mercury enters Aries. And so that might even clear up things a little bit. But we also have Mars in Aquarius square Uranus in Taurus. And financially, that can have an effect. It's kind of a, battle of egos, or a meltdown, or something unexpected, something falling down, whether that's literally or figuratively, someone being pushed too hard, too much, too fast. But it's interesting because this energy can also bring in something new, or somebody, it could be, intimately, or being brave, or taking care of things. Or it could be something like, oh, wow, I never knew that could happen, or I never thought that would happen. But it could be in a very good way, like a breaking record of some type, but just good. Now, the 9th and the 10th, I think, if I could live only in the energy of the 9th and the 10th this month, I would, because it's a new moon in Pisces, and that's very romantic, very ethereal, emotional, sweet. So on the 11th, Venus enters Pisces. And okay, so Venus in Pisces, she's in her exaltation, which means that's her sweet spot. It's her most favorable, strongest, happiest place. So I guess the 9th, 10th, and the 11th is pretty good. So things can come to a conclusion also, but probably in a better way. It's whimsical, it's fun, it's romantic, it's dreams, it's love. I like that. I like that sweet kind of energy. On the 15th, now we're in the mid-month. Mars is in Aquarius. Mars is in Saturn. That's fiery energy. 17th, Sun conjuncts Neptune in Pisces. Again, we have this fluctuating energy, a desire to escape, or I can't take this anymore, escape from reality, or it's looking through rose-colored glasses and not seeing the truth for what it is, or seeing the truth and saying, I got to get out of here. I can't take this. Now on the 19th, and I like the 19th because the 19th in the Tarot also is the Sun card, but it's the Sun enters Aries, and the Sun is exalted in Aries. That's his happy place. And that is also, I believe that's the spring equinox, or equinox, however you say it, which we love that time of the year because it's new plans. It's good for starting things. It's an energetic energy, planting new seeds, initiation. It also can bring a sense of, I've got to do this. This is my responsibility, but it's pretty nice energy. The 21st, Venus conjunct Saturn in Pisces. Kind of whimsical, but we got Saturn there. It's a good time to do dream boarding, intention setting. Venus, Pisces, but it conjunct Saturn. It can bring in the energy of like making more commitments. But relationships, I don't know, they're kind of rocky because Saturn is there, and Saturn is the teacher, and he's asking us, okay, what have you learned about love? Because Venus is at play there. What have you learned about your closest relationships? And with Pisces talking, Pisces is encouraging us, go deep. Ask the question in your close relationships, who's with me? Who's not with me? So again, this is a global energy as well, and that will affect us personally. But on the large scale, I kind of think it's about countries and governments looking for alliances, or they're very angry about not having who they feel should be on their side. But one of the things, that aside, one of the things I think we might want to do under this vibration is to pay. So, okay, I hear people using the word HOMAGE, saying homage, where years ago I always heard it as homage. So, but however you say it, paying homage or homage to Venus, and tap into that Venusian energy by setting up a love altar. Make an offering to Venus, because this is about love for others, love for the planet, love for yourself. With flowers, tap into that Venusian energy with flowers, aromatherapy, chocolates. I understand that Venus loves chocolate as much as I do. It's about beauty. It's about love. Yes, I like that. I don't know, it's kind of a crazy day, but I would choose to tap into that Venusian energy. The 22nd, we have Mars enters Pisces, and Mars asks you to think about things, and Pisces is saying, I don't know where I'm going, my energy level, I don't know where it is. We need patience. And for most of the month, by the way, we really need patience and be able to weather these ups and downs. So then we have the 24th, the 25th, a full moon and a lunar eclipse in Libra. Now, Venus sign is Libra, and Venus is in Pisces, and it's exalted in Pisces. So we're working through relationships and balancing things. It's a highly emotional time. It's a time of cleansing and clearing, and it can teach us a lot about our relationships. And that's important, to start looking at all our relationships without those rose-colored glasses. But we also have Venus and Mars and Aquarius that will square up to Uranus, and Uranus has that shock value, that shock effect. So Uranus is saying, I want you to grow up. So this is a little bit of an intense energy, some shakeups or wake ups. But it is a very powerful eclipse, and a wonderful, and really, really wonderful for really tapping into, again, your dreams and intentions. You just got to be a grown up about it. So the overview of the month, very active, emphasis again this month on relationships, watery energy, fires, taking off the rose-colored glasses, but also if you can just weather all this, it's a wonderful time. Get your emotions in balance. Wonderful month for creativity and planting and arts and beautiful things, love and beauty, giving birth to new ideas, maybe having revelations. So that kind of ties up the energy for March. So this should be really, really interesting.
It seems like the first time in about 6 or 8 months that it didn't feel like the gloom and the doom and the be careful. It's like it's opening. It's vibrant. It's like spring.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, very much so. Very much. I mean, it's going to be a month of love and creativity and relationships punctuated with, oh my God, I can't believe that, things like that. But if we can just go with the flow of the 11 2, the 11, the master number, get into high vibration, and that's for us to do the personal work. And the 3 of creativity, we can weather a lot of the other transits that are going on. It's like stay in your own lane, don't take things personally. Very, very big emphasis on taking off the rose colored glasses, seeing things more clearly. So that is going to be globally and personally as well. And, planting new seeds. This is a fertile time. And what do we want to do with the rest of the year? The rest of 2024, where do we want to go with that? And are we realistic about it? So that's
You know,
it.
yeah, it's interesting, Michele, because the message that keeps coming through these days in a variety of ways is look at your behaviors.
Mm.
And if you want your behaviors to be different, then you need to take off the rose-colored glasses, be aware of what you're doing, and stop yourself at that moment before you do this addictive thing, whether it's hooking into the news or having
Yeah.
extra cup of coffee or whatever it is, but just that self-awareness so you can then change your behaviors. And it feels like March is this space of self-awareness.
Yes. Perfectly said. Perfect. I love how you bring it all together, Ruth. You really do. I love that. And yes, that is very true about this month. And, it's always about, the lessons, all of the lessons that we are confronted with, or challenges or experiences, the lessons for us always is to stay in our own lane, work on ourself, not be in judgment. It's a lot to ask of any human being because we're interacting all the time with others. But when we can silence our egos just a little bit, say, look, I know you're looking out for me, ego, but your ego, which we've talked about so many times, is always judging. You're never okay with the ego. Your ego is either saying, oh, you're so much better than that person. Or they're saying, oh God, you're so not like that person. You're terrible. You're an awful human being. That's the extreme, but the ego is the one that you're too fat, you're too skinny, you're too this, you're too that. It's never okay. But your spirit, your soul, well, your soul has to learn, but your spirit is okay with everything. And although we can't achieve obviously perfection on this planet, as long as you're on this planet, we can certainly start practicing and taking baby steps every day and practicing compassion, non-judgment, non-attachment. That's a big one, which it's much easier for us to do that outside of our immediate family, right?
Sure.
But when we can do it within our family, wow, that's skyrocketing high vibrational energy.
Well, and when you can do that for yourself,
Yes.
life-changing.
Yes. Yes. Life changing. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, Michele, I know that you work one-on-one with folks. I know that you will do um, their birth chart and go through their numerology and all that. If folks want to reach out to you, maybe grab a 15-minute free consultation, because I know that you offer that, how do they
Yes.
contact you?
Just go to my website, michelelanders.com. And Michele is with one L, Michele. And you can have a free consultation, whether that is about numerology or hypnotherapy or coaching. And I'm glad to spend that time with someone if they're interested. So thank you for that.
Yeah. Beautiful. Michelle, thank you so much. And I am looking forward to spending time with you this month. Can't wait for that. And
Yes.
we're going to enjoy a little women's retreat this month. So I'm so excited. So
Yes.
yeah, so friends, make sure to come back on April 1 and we're just going to soak up this month. It looks like it's going to be a great month. So take good care, friends. We'll see you soon. Bye now.